No, I won't leave you hanging. Welcome in to That Beans Coffee Lab. I'm the Bean Man. This this is my place of peace. So join us as we set some things up. See here. Make sure everything's copacetic and going good. You know, we're over here on YouTube. We want to make sure everything is just special for you. But anyway, anywho, I can't tell if I'm live or not. Sure I am. And as always, as we still try to navigate our newest stream and make sure everything's good, going right. I think it is. I don't know. I don't know, you guys. Tell you what I'll do. Looks like we're going. Looks like we're rolling, kids. Bingo, bango, boingo. We are running. So welcome into Fat Beans Coffee Lab. I am yours truly, the Bean Man. We're feeling good today. It's been a good day. It's been a good week. It's been a good month. Hell, it's been a good year. Hope you can say the same thing. And we're going to be doing a couple of things here today. First, we've got some of the newest, hottest, freshest coffee out there from a little buddy of ours out of the great state of Michigan, out of the old mitten, if you would, has sent us some coffee. He is I don't want to say he's new to roasting because, boy, he's been roasting for a while now, but he's relatively new to the bullet game, and he has sent me some delectable coffee, and we're going to be cupping it today. So shout out to Shipwreck Coffee and Isaac and Riley. I guess it'd be Riley. I don't know how you guys like to be calling yourselves as far as your business goes. Can't call you MQT guy when you're now a business owner. Or maybe I can. I mean, hell, I call myself the Bean Man. But nevertheless, an MQT guy, Isaac, we'll call you Isaac here. I'd say I'm new to roasting. Hell, we're all new to roasting, but we got to put our modesty away every now and then. And compared to 99.9% of the public, you're a pro, baby. You're a pro. So anyway, we are doing up some Guatemalan, and let me tell you this, Isaac, this is the best coffee smelling wise you've ever sent me. So things trending up. You definitely were able to capture the aromatics. I got the package in the mail yesterday, and even my wife mentioned, she goes, that's some good smelling coffee. So very good. In fact, there is a little bit of a rich fruitiness in here that is coming out in the aromatic. So I'm interested to dive in. Now, as all of the pro streamers do, all the real badasses do, I'm going to leave dead air because I forgot to get my kettle. So bear with me. And if my mic holds up, maybe I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you. So Isaac, you do anything fine. My wife keeps stealing my my pot. Gotta grab a drink anyway. Oh, he's starting to self-medicate. It's not gonna be that bad, buddy. I'll be gentle, I promise. Anyway, let's go ahead and set up our cupping. Get everything set up. I do have old Judy. I got old Jutesy Scoots in tonight. You know, she's always up to do a little work on a Thursday. So she is up and running. Got the heat on, but it's been actually pretty temperate down here. See? Just for you, Isaac, I've been filling out everything on my Roast World, or whatever the hell you want to call it, profiles. So I have my thermometer set to Celsius right now, my ambient temps. So I don't even know what the hell 15 Celsius is. Is that good? I don't think so. I know 17, 18, 19, 20, those are some reasonable numbers, but I don't think 15 is a good number of Celsioids. But nevertheless, we're going to get going here. I think Judy is going to get the charge, and I am actually gonna do a roast, a little cold brew pinch roast. So what I mean by a pinch roast is when it's this cold, I like to do something that's not super high stakes to get the machine warmed up, and then I'll do more of my consistent roasting. I'm going to do a big batch while I'm getting this cupped. So Judy will be working in the background while we are cupping coffee. So don't mind her. She's a workhorse. Judy will be working. And we'll be tasting. Luckily, I think we probably, by the time we get everything up and running, the roast will probably be pretty much done. We're multitasking. We like to save time here in the lab. I think I'll make a video that you'll find useful. So I don't know if you've ever seen my little kind of weird little roast along videos I've been making. I had experimented with them. I've been experimenting with them last year, and I just got back into doing them again. Now that I'm in the new setup, I kind of like this setup. I like kind of how my camera works down here. I like that I think it looks pretty good. So I've been doing a roast along. I did one with some Mexican coffee, where I point out every phase that I can think of, and I try to give as many visual representations. I'm going to try to start doing that with as many batches as I can, if I can remember to do it, but we'll go there. Drop that coffee at 222, 5-minute drying, 4-minute Maillard, 3-minute developing. I mean, that's good to know. And I would say, let's go ahead and we'll put it on the old peeper. We'll drop it on the old peeper, take a look at it. Put it in on the old peeper scope. So I'll be dropping that new video. You'll have to tell me what you think of it on YouTube, probably tonight. I'm still doing some audio engineering. I've also been doing a lot of research about tasting. And if we're being honest, I'm always doing a lot of research. That's just kind of how I am. I'm always poking around stuff. But I've been doing a lot of research on tasting. So I know I was talking to you about a potential video series, how I want to start just making series just to push myself to become a better coffee person, and really not coffee like barista, but coffee roaster. And I'm just going to, as I figure it out, I'm going to film it and I'm going to put it out there. I think editing it, looking at it, thinking about it really, really helps me kind of build up my craft. And because of that, I am going to, I've been doing a lot of research on cupping, and I'm about 7 or 8, I'm about 3. So luckily as a teacher, I get access to journal articles. So I've read about 3 journal articles, really good journal articles about flavors and coffees and acetic acids and all these different things. And I'm kind of lost in the sauce there, but I've also been just going through some of the tasting things, re-evaluating cupping. And I've actually changed up my cupping game a little bit. Not the... none of the variables, so I haven't changed up the temperature or anything like that. What I've changed is, and I feel kind of stupid, but you know what? That's really what this forum is. We're all friends here. I've moved to a 2-cup method. So I had only been cupping 1 sample, and that is jackassery. You need to be cupping 2 of every sample that you have. Because 1, you could get a stinker bean in there, and it could screw up the entire flavor. But 2, a big part of tasting is recognition. So the more that you can find similarities in cups, the better you're going to become as far as tasting coffee is concerned. And in order, I'm really trying to push myself as much as I can. And honestly, Isaac, based on the parameters that you told me, I was guessing it was going to be I call this about a right at the door of full city. Plus, so I'm guessing you didn't hit first, second cracks. But I'm guessing at 222, you were probably getting pretty close. And that is, now just the note, it's going to go to medium dark at 1 more temperature. So, very good. And we've talked about this. Guatemalans do show up a little bit light on this. But overall good. That's right what I thought it would be at, so that's good news. Not like lighter on the inside or darker on the outside. Yeah, I think it's even probably I'd say it's more close to like a 16. There could be soap or something. Exactly. So, it's already starting to pay dividends. It's already starting to pay some dividends. So I think that this little video series that I'm going to be making over the next probably several months about the art of tasting is going to pay. It's going to be very helpful, at least for me. And honestly, I got nothing against everyone out there, but I do it for me. I do it for me. And if people can get help from it while I'm doing it, perfect. I did not see second crack. Another 15, 20 seconds would have been cracking, though. Yeah. So, I mean, that's about right. That's about right. Okay. Let's dive right in. Get a couple of samples here. All the while, we need to keep an eye on our gel. So damn cold down here. That first roast of the night has really been giving me some props. Okay. All other variables are going to stay the same. 8.2, 205, 150 milliliters. Nothing changes there. Medium grind size. There. Roy, welcome in. How have you been? That's the right motivation. Absolutely. Roy, I hope you're doing well. Like I said, I get a kind of kick out of doing these YouTube videos, checking things out. So I think you'll maybe get some enjoyment out of what I come up with. Tonight I'm dropping. I didn't purge this damn grinder good enough, so get some things cleaned up here. Tonight I'll be dropping one of my standard little roast of it, like little kind of roast along videos. But then I will be doing, trying to get some different stuff out. All right, do a better job of purging your grinder, Bean Man. I dig the new studio. Yeah, this is the new Bean Lab. This is what I've been. This is kind of what's been holding me back from being super consistent on like really anything. Is that I've been down here building this, and I've got some really good news. I think the state. I've been talking with the state, and I think it's a go. I think we are also going to go for the food processor down here. So things are looking up. Things are coming up deep, man. There we go. 8.2. Yeah, I mean, I love this space. Getting a couple really acclimated, comfortable. I like filming down here, so I am very excited to continue the bean journey. This is a big hurdle of mine to get this new Bean Lab done. Boy, we're actually doing some of Isaac's, or as they're now known, Shipwreck Coffee Roasters. You may know him as MQT Guy. A good friend of mine, good friend of the show. And we are doing some of his early coffee offerings as he gets ready for this year's farmers market. Shout out to Shipwreck Coffee. And we're also, Judy's kind of working in the background. She's over here working behind the scenes. Really, I'm just trying to get her warmed up. All right. Yeah, I'm telling you, MQT guys, this is easily all of the sensory parts. This is the best smelling coffee if you've sent me. This is nice. I like it. It's got a nice, almost a little bit of a fruity acidity in it. So that's nice to have in the aromatic. Interesting to see how that's going to come out in the cup. Let's put 50 on here. There's all the nice crust. Start our timer. 4 minutes. Oh yeah, with that kind of permeate a little bit. Come on. First roast of the night. She's always a little tough. I've neglected my coffee hobby for my computer hobby. That's all right. Hey man, as long as you're doing stuff and it all comes together. You know, it's all related. Your computer hobby, your coffee hobby, it's all webbed up. I've been, kind of playing around with Photoshop and Premiere Pro and kind of learning some gags and stuff on it. And I'm all worried. I'm like, well, that's not coffee roasting, but it is. It's all a part of the art. So even like sometimes when I'm making videos, I'm still learning about coffee because obviously I'm making coffee videos, but just going back and kind of listening to some of the things that I spout off about makes me think about coffee. Makes me spend time, So it's been all our hobbies are connected. As long as we tell ourselves that it's a journey. You don't go up the mountain straight up. Take yourself all the way around. I know the Bean Man's been saying that a lot, but hey, that's just what Bean Man feels. There's definitely nice smell. There's a little roastiness in it, so we got that. But I think there's this is looking good. This is looking good. The So welcome everyone over to the YouTube part of the stream. I normally do Twitch, but I've been, like I said, trying to make some more videos, trying to do a little bit more outreach here on YouTube. I originally made my YouTube when I first started streaming 2 years ago, and I did it as a place just to store videos. But every now and then, I've been further gaining my skills with things like editing and ready to kind of jump back in because I've been enjoying it. So we'll see. Who knows what the future holds in store? I think one of the major factors is that I really enjoy streaming down here. My last roaster, yeah. I mean, it's all connected. As you guys know, my computer skills, not great, but I do what I can. Also, my audio skills aren't great, but hey, it's a journey. We're not trying to get there on the first stop. Definitely glad I'm doing this warm-up roast. Probably a good thing. Well, that's Chris. Does your Twitch chat pop up on YouTube? It sure does. That's hilarious, MQT guy. Yeah. Speak of the bad at computers. I still got the Twitch chat hooked up on the YouTube. Doing my best. You do your best, you forget the rest. All right, that's 4 minutes exactly. Let's get a nice little spoon cleanser here. Break this crust. Let's get our nose right in here. Ooh, that's nice. Okay, yeah. I need to get better. So that's one part of my journey. I really need to start to focus on the aromatics because there's something here and it's good. I just not quite sure what it is. I know I like it though. That's a good thing. It's almost nutty. It's very kind of nutty, almost like a macadamia kind of nut, a walnut. Very kind of that nut texture in the nose. Definitely something acidic, something a little bit fruity. Get all this foam and nonsense out of there. Pull water out of here. Yeah, the interaction on YouTube is a little weaker, but we'll have to do a couple of videos. I think this Thursday night YouTube thing might become a standard guy. No, don't give me the tasting notes. I'll just kind of spit some things out, and you can let me know how close I got. So this is a good opportunity to train, and now I need to let it sit for about 10 minutes. Another problem I have is I jump right into the cupping portion of things, and that's kind of a weakness of mine. Coffee. little longer than I normally am used to. Will make a very good opening roast and return roast. I'll just turn this into cold brew while we wait for our cupping to cool down. And when we get done with all of our tasting, we'll switch it up a little bit and we'll put old Judy on the front center, on Front Street, if you would. Let old Judy girl have a run. But no tasting notes. Bean man, go blind on this. Everything I've been reading from my advanced tasting research is that really should wait like 15 minutes. I don't think I've ever been able to wait 15 minutes to drink a cup of coffee. That sounds Herculean. Let's take a look and see what we got here. All right. Well, cheers, MQT guy. Here we go. Let's see if we can't something out. Okay. That's smooth. First taste, definitely smooth. The nuttiness is pretty dominant there. It tracks. There is a bitterness in it, but it's not like a negative by any means. That's a good body. Honestly, I don't taste it too off. I think as it cools, that bitterness will kind of start to form into something, but that's nice. A little bit of a chocolate note. Try this. Definitely something as far as the acidity. It's almost kind of creating something in the top note. Something enjoyable. Not, I wouldn't say like a stone fruit. Almost a little bit softer than that. So a soft, not an incredibly biting acidity. Definitely see how these two coffees are the same. And it does taste, you really can taste that classic Guatemalan taste. There's a bittersweet in there. Maybe sweetness. It's got a good body. Very clean. It's a very clean hit of coffee. So I would say it's got a dark chocolate, bittersweet flavor. That's kind of where the sweetness is, like classic Guatemalan, like a lot of sweetness. There's a little bit of a nutty taste, almost kind of that hangs around, kind of on the back of my palate there. So a little something hanging out. Let me see if I can't pin that down. Overall, good coffee. Good coffee flavor. Maybe we'll have to go to a, maybe we'll have to switch over to a swish. Ooh, that one got way back there. Oh, I slurped the skips. Better take a hit of water. I'll tell you what, I definitely got the most flavored out of that one. And it choked me out a little bit. Cut the choke slam by that. That's definitely the most flavorful blast. Having a hard time kind of moving past some of this bittersweet. Like definitely a dark chocolate, almost a very dark chocolate. I mean, that's where you get that smoothness in that body from. Let's see if I can't. Just going to try to pinpoint the acidity. I might let it cool just a little bit more. There is something there. Can't get to it, but the holdover taste is definitely something nutty, some sort of a little bit softer, not so much like a pecan, something maybe a little softer like macadamia nut, walnut, something, just a slight hint of nuttiness in there. So I would say like dark chocolate, nutty, and just a little kiss of fruit. Let's see if I can't try to give a better understanding of what that fruit is. I'm having a hard time parsing it out. So MQT guy. How close did I get? How did I do? How was that? We'll keep running through it. It's here's the next thing we're gonna do. We're always working now. Bean Man's always on the grind. You guys wouldn't have it any other way than grinding Bean Man. Hire like an assistant to wipe it down. So we'll see. We'll see how we did. A gaffer. I need a gaffer to come in here. Fluffer, is that what they call it in the industry? I need a coffee roaster fluffer. Someone come in here and fluff the roaster. Get it ready. Get her ready to grind. Get in here and fluff this roaster. Supposed to be all sugar with hints of particular nut and some particular fruit that gave a mild perceived acidity. I can name the nut and fruit if you'd like. I would say the fruit would be, let's call the fruit something not, it's somewhere in between like a wild berry and an apple. It's not intense enough. It's nothing like citric. It's nothing citric. I'm thinking because I'm getting most of the flavor. I'm guessing because I'm getting most of the flavor from like a fuzzy mouth taste. I want to say apple. So I'm gonna say pecan and apple. Let me know how I did. Let me know how I did. Because what I'm also alluding to is that B-Man, I'm not even going to mess around here. I'm going to start doing these videos. I'm going to learn everything I can about taste. I'm going to order coffee from all over hell. I'm going to taste, I'm going to taste, I'm going to taste, I'm going to taste. I'm going to taste, and that's good. Hey, it's good news for your coffee. That means your coffee is delivering. I'm going to taste, I'm going to taste, I'm going to taste, I'm going to taste. And I'm signing up for like a regional tasting competition. Hell with it. I'm going to go, I'm going to put the Bean Man's reputation on the line. And I'm going to film that too. So whatever we come up with, whatever the end of this little adventure that we're going on, if something cool will happen. So be looking out for that. Look at the Bean Man. Not a seasoned roaster, but still can stumble in, just can gump his way into tasting. Yeah. Good coffee. Hey, Michigan, I got good news. You guys got yourself a good craft roaster that knows how to at least hit the flavor notes. Yeah, I knew it was some sort of soft nut, so pistachio. I think when I do each thing, when I go through like acidity, bittersweet, smoothness, and cleanliness, I need to I'm going to do like a whole video, and I'm going to have like the food groups in there, and I'm going to taste them, and I'm going to taste the coffee. I'm going to taste them. There's a lot of weird shit. Heck yourself, pet. All right, see, that's the thing. I think we get no negativity. This is the no negativity zone anymore, because I am telling you right now, Isaac, you know what the hell you're doing, so take pride in that. Bean Man approved, and you know what? All this screwing around in the basement, I don't think all this screwing around in our basements hasn't completely and totally left us devoid of skill and talent, so cheers. I know, I need to make sure I save this chat so that I can... Now, when you go back and watch these on YouTube, can you see the chat, or is the chat just lost forever? Is that something I need to be recording? Because that's kind of a bummer, if that is. But if it records the chat, well, then I'm going to go and definitely, I'll clip this up, put that in a video, and then I'll be like, look at the Bean Man. He's not an asshole. He knows what he's doing. Still an asshole. COVID self-taught, baby. Pew! I think learning it like really caveman is gonna definitely help you someday. Only took 9 batches to get right. The second was your tip of drop. I mean, we're just all in this together, and you know what? I'm not trying to say that I know anything you don't know. It's just tried it a couple of different ways. The only thing I could see that was different, that would maybe cause you a challenge, was that preheat. But hell, man. Just glad you got it figured out, because I think you were definitely showing some of the instincts that would really help you. And you know where you're going to get really good? When you go to that farmer's market and you start roasting a lot. Now, if you want to take the freaking Karate Kid route, now if you're looking to do the Karate Kid route, what you should do, and I know you can't do this, but you should do it, you should take your roaster, because there is nothing that teaches you how to roast on that damn machine like roasting it to order. It's kind of one of those, you learn on the fly. It's like I remember one day I worked for a restaurant, and I went in to be the dishwasher because I was 15. And the dishwasher wasn't as important as the cook, and the cook quit. They just started throwing me orders, and there was about 2 months where your boy was a line cook. And that's how I learned. Same thing with teaching. I thought, I was going to get this good mentor as a teacher. That dude walked in the first day, said, "You're going to teach this class. I got basketball stuff to do." And I never saw him again. Never saw my host teacher again, and that's how I learned how to teach. So I think there is value to that. Yes, there is also value, someone kind of standing behind you and saying, there's something there. I don't have power out there. I need to bring a generator. Just one time. Just do it one time, man. And I think the lessons you'll learn will be just phenomenal. I'm looking to going, now that I got the kitchen up and running, I'm looking to go to a different farmer's market that I'm going to have to bag. I'm going to have to bag because there's going to be a point where my OG farmer's market, like that's my place of peace. And the business isn't going to be as good there, but that's where the Bean Man loves. Bean Man loves that place. You got to go where your heart takes you. But this other market I can't ignore either because it's right down the street. And like my father-in-law, I can load up a wagon full of bean bags and send him over there and say, hey, sell these until they're gone. So that will be a little bit different where we start doing that. And obviously the candles. I think that farmer's market, the candles are going to smash. I'll tell you what, whenever I pull the trigger on these candles, I think the candles are where the Bean Man shineth. Shine that bean on me. Well, as a crowd MQT guy, I'm pleased. Nice work. Oh yeah, definitely the chocolate sweetness now it's starting to really show up. So good work. So shout out again, Shipwreck Coffee. Look out, Michigan, and soon the world. And a kid. So there's other coffee roasters. Oh, let's say at the market, or there's other markets. Yeah, man. Expand. I've been talking with the sauce guy, and me and him, we've got kind of the same, like, we're just like, screw it, dude. We're going to both go to as many markets as we can. And we're going to, I mean, we even kind of talked about maybe if we couldn't find enough workers, we'll have like a coffee and hot sauce tent at one of them. Just have one person slinging both our stuff there. Like, I think if that's what's going to get me to my bigger roaster sooner rather than later. So that's the dream. And I would love to make some videos with a different kind of roaster. I am going to make another Be More roaster because those videos do really well. I don't know, what's like a good video number for like a dipshit on YouTube like me? Like, what's a good number? Like, you're a resident of Oakland County, Michigan. You hear that? You hear that, YouTube? Oakland County, Michigan. You hit up Isaac. You don't know, you can't hit up Isaac. You hit me up. I'll hit up Isaac. We'll get it to you. Kid's got some good beans. Proud of my roasting chops there. I will say this, I do see the point of letting it cool down for 10 minutes. I wasn't getting, it was really like, my senses were in survival mode when I was first tasting it. So that was kind of pointless, and I was all over the place. As it cooled down, it got a lot easier. So cooling the coffee is important. Do some popper roasts. People on YouTube would eat that right up. Yeah, but then I would have to get good at it. And so maybe I'm going to make the first Be More video I'm going to make is going to be, I'm going to do like out the box, like how I'm going to look at exactly how Be More says to roast like half a pound. I'm going to do it like exactly. And then I'm going to also call it like out of the box, and I'm going to call it God mode. And I'm going to show you, like, I'm going to show like every little nugget that I have to get that thing just right. So they'll be out of the box and they'll be God mode. And that's when I'll just have that thing just like on a tilt, like leaning up. I'll have my roasting tray to fast cool the beans. We'll be doing all the dirty little secrets, like the unrecommended preheats. I'll have to get my little journal out and kind of might have to. I got a couple of baglers that I'm not going to use for anything else, so I'll be fine. Oh yeah, the Bean Man Discord. What the hell? I guess I don't have anything linked to that. Put that in the chat, and we'll see if that helps anything. I should probably link that. Oh, well, I mean, there's a lot of things I should probably do, but I'm just doing what I can do, man. break out the welding gloves. Oh, you mean the pit mitts? You mean the pit mitts? Yes, we'll get some Be More content out there for you, Beanheads. I promise. I won't leave you hanging. All right, Jutes. All right, Judy, you actually ready to? Now you've been on for about an hour. You ready to roast for real? You ready to roast for real, there, Jutes? Stop all this horsing around. Huh. Yeah, that sounds about right. YouTube. Oh, my YouTube. She probably did. Now, what are you going to do? We're figuring it out. And like I said, I don't know what good numbers are for YouTube, but they're good. Yeah, man. It doesn't even have to be good. Like, people, like my two most popular videos are, here's my YouTube fame so far, while we're heating her up. One, I have a video where I roasted some Kenya coffee and I misspelled Kenya. And I didn't do it on accident because I misspelled it a bunch of times. Because I'm an idiot. Well, I'm not an idiot, but I'm a moron. And I have certain inabilities to understand how vowels work. But yeah, there you go. Roy, 100%. Dump it in the Twitch chat and it'll pop up. It'll pop up right there. There. I'm an idiot, so that's my most popular video. And my second most popular video is of me on a B-more. The sound is atrocious, but it's like an hour-and-a-half video, just I got the B-more going, so just whatever you do, just put it up there. Just throw it on there and see what happens. And now, so my students are getting into this chat GTF or GFR or GNSR, PR, QN, whatever the hell it is. My students have been getting in there to write papers. And so I think, if anything, the new type of art and the new type of videos is going to be crappy videos, because then people will know that humans actually made them. So it's going to go like the complete opposite way, where computers are going to be making like computer generated videos, and they're going to get there's going to be so many like animated videos, and it's just going to be a dearth, that the videos that people are going to become attracted to are the ones that are like scuffed and bad. Yeah, Chat GPT. They're going to be so scuffed and so crappy that that's like going to become the new ultimate video. Yeah, dude. Teaching, I mean, I don't care. If kids want to use ChatGPT, then they can just talk to me. I'll just bring in every kid. We'll have a little discussion. Teaching's all about adapting. There's a reason we don't teach like they did in the 1950s anymore. If students come up with, that's no longer a good tool, do something different, man. Do something different. All right, we're going to try to speed this roast up just a little bit. I'm going to try to speed this along. So we can get something worthwhile out of this. I remember when teachers just give you, I know. It was Wikipedia, and then, you adapt. You adapt. Hell, man, I was thinking, all the while I have all these teachers complaining about this Chat GTP, and I'm thinking in the back of my head, I can write, like, YouTube, I can, like, write scripts, and I can go off the rails a little bit, but it'd be nice to... It would be nice to have, like, a computer go through, do all the citing, write all the scripts, and then I just read them and kind of add my own flair to it. Save me like 4 hours of just writing something. Well, yeah, I mean, that's the awesome part of it. Confidently wrong. Tell you what, man, but teachers, I don't want to be like spoiler alert here, but a lot of teachers, they have to teach so quickly, and they're responsible for teaching so much content in such a small window that the depth of knowledge that a lot of teachers have is very, very superficial. So if you put enough words that look right, more often than not, it can get the teachers second guessing themselves. And if nothing else, ChatGTP gets them second guessing themselves. I'll tell you what, is I've read a couple that we just were screwing around and made a couple. They're awful. And it's not because they're not like good writing and stuff. They just don't sound like a student. Like, I've read enough student work to know, like, I like the kind of rawness of a student. And there's just certain words and certain like grammar usage that kids use that ChatGTP has not figured out yet. So there is still hope. Not to say if I was tired and I had a bunch of essays, I was like an English teacher, I could see why that would be a little bit of a problem. Because it does not register on things like Turnitin.com. And a lot of English teachers have become very, very reliant on your Turnitin.coms. It's been kind of a hoot. Never a boring profession, that's for sure. It's never been a boring profession. We're going a little fast. I would, these Sumatra beans are a little bit bigger than some of my other beans. I'm wondering if 1,000 is just too much. Might need to cut it back to 900 next time I do one. Yeah, but I think the point is just, it's almost kind of like a spit in the face to like this industrial creationism to show you that things being perfect, things being exactly the way they should, they're so easy to manipulate that they're almost not even human anymore. And I think that's how I really view ChatGTP, is that we've gotten so much on being perfect or having a writing style or, using perfect grammar or, all these things. We're trying so much to industrialize thought that we've allowed computers just to mimic it. And to an extent, like I say, they shouldn't be helping us at all. That should be challenging us to say, is writing essays really what we should have students be doing? Or should we have them be able to display their knowledge in a more real, a more creative way? Because the standard, like, this is English, you're going to write an essay. Maybe that's just not the right thing to have them do. Maybe that's not how we evaluate if somebody is like a master or a doctor of their field, if they're good writers. Maybe that's the kind of takeaway we have from that. Yeah, I'm excited. Don't get me wrong. There's a real significant chance that I might write like my first script for the first tasting video I do with it. Presentations, can't fake those, right? So now, you know what? That actually screws the students because they're not going to be able to sit there on their little computer with their little, with all their sources and everything else. They're going to have to sit there and know it inside and out, and I'm going to ask them about it. And you know what? I'm going to probably have to come in a little bit better prepared. So it's going to make me better. It's going to make the kids better. And my administrator's just going to have to know it's going to take me more time to assess these kids. And they're just going to be cool with it. Because I'm like, listen, I can't do the blanket papers anymore because ChatGTP, man. And apparently there's a new version coming out. Presentation skills are way more important than essay skills. I mean, as a person who it's really easy for me to present, I agree. The age of the bead man has finally arrived. Oh, he has dyslexia. He can't write, can't spell worth of shit. Well, my time is here. The time of the dyslexic idiot has arrived. Yeah, I mean, you know what? I say great. I'm super excited there's an easy research tool. I'm going to use it for coffee front and back, baby. Front and back. It's a brave new world, but as you can tell, English teachers are a little bit more bothered by it than the psychology teacher was. Gotta fact check it. Not perfect with the facts yet. Yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, still, but who is? I mean, it's all relative, so even facts aren't necessarily factual. Disclaimer, facts are factual. The big man saying that there's no such thing as facts. That's not necessarily what I'm saying. We got my nose in this road, trying to make sure that I'm not getting a little late. I mean, 10 minutes isn't actually that long. For a roast this big, need to just basically calm it down a little bit. Get your nose out of there, it'll be fine. The AI overlord is about to have us on some 1984 and the Bean Man knows it. Yeah. Not afraid at all. Facts are not facts, my friend. I just don't want the AI overlord just to cut my feed. Just trying to stay on the air. Just trying to stay on the air. Oh, baby, here we go. Oh, it arrived broken. No singing fish. Tried to do something fun, and look what happened. Got screwed over because those things are 25 years old. And as a person that was young when those, you probably weren't even a lot born when those were out. They're pretty hilarious. They're also pretty terrible. Hilarable. They're hilarable. So going back to the roast, in your opinion, was it dark enough? Or do you think, I think you could have got a little bit darker. I don't think that apple, it was there. I mean, it was there up until 222. I would have taken it right up to second crack and gave her a little kiss. Because I do think there was just it was a little squat, it was a squat. There was some line between it being, I'm going to put it in a coffee pot, and that's where I'll really evaluate it, and I'll let you know on Discord, but I don't know. I think it got just a little bit darker. Go make a cup, my friend. Oh, so you were alive. Big mouth Billy Bass, baby. Sumatra is super earthy already, but it is also vegetative. Very, very vegetative. Never closer to that first crack range. Yeah, that's right. Go get it, man. And drive and get it. And then make sure you put a seatbelt on it. Those things are precious. I'll bring batteries and test it out. I can only imagine the place you're about to go to buy a big mouth Billy Bass. I know everyone has different opinions about weapons and carrying, but you might want to pack a couple in the chamber there, MQ. Oh, excuse me, there, Isaac Harriman. Because it might be worthwhile. I don't know what kind of person sells a Billy Bath on Facebook Marketplace. You find out and report it back to us, though. It's not in the hood. You know, I'm not afraid of the hood. I'm afraid of the country because I'm from the country. You might be like, if you're from the country, you shouldn't be afraid of it. I'm afraid of the country because I'm from the country. I know what kind of people own Billy Bass. Probably the same kind of people who roast coffee in their basement. There we go. That was the second crack. So. Growth time is much more manageable. 15 minutes. That's probably the last batch of 1,000 I'm going to do with this particular coffee. Drop this one down to 900. Yes. Yeah. You gotta be Judy. Yeah. You're 24 years old. That thing should have already been long in the yard sale bin. That should have been in yard sales 15 years ago. Should have been in the yard sale bin 15 years ago. Don't you think my redneck family didn't have a big mouth Billy Bass? You'd be wrong. We had the Billy Bass. Oh, we had the Billy Bass. Funny enough, we have one, but my sister took it and she wouldn't let me buy it. That's a wild story. Who knew the Billy Bass would just divide families like this? I thought the Billy Bass was supposed to bring families together. Mr. the inventor of the Billy Bass, so we all can assume it's probably dead. If he's not old, then just all the money that he probably got from making a Billy Bass probably gave him one sweet redneck. But he gone. Pouring out for Mr. Billy. But I don't think that that was his intention, was to cause this kind of strife. This family strife. Pouring out for Mr. Billy Bass. Do one more batch. All I need to do for the comp. All coffeed up. Coffeed up, all coffeed out. Ready to go. My sister and I split a lot of possessions when we moved out, video games, movies, and other fun stuff that we both used. She got the Billy Bass, and I got the GameCube. I think you probably got the better end of that deal. We're being honest. You got the nostalgic Nintendo device, and, you know, as a person who got the Super Nintendo when me and my brother moved out, and the N64, having that for, like, college, and really just general frivolity is... Now, I had mine in college, and I don't know, I think I had too much fun in college. I don't know where it's at now. It's gone. I lost both of them. I lost them both. Yeah, man, we churned right through this Mexican cheapest. I might have to buy another. I might have to work it out and buy another batch. And to buy myself another batch of the cheapest. I think I'd go through it that quickly, but it's been a popular little guy. Better load the recipe. Get a recipe. It's pretty good. I liked it. Okay, here we go. All right. Bring our camera out here. Roasting question. So when you get a new coffee, how big a batch do you start with? And when you want to scale up, how do you decide the preheat temps? So I got a couple of preheat temps that I usually stick with. So anything like, this is a 500, and I did a preheat of like 250. 250 is kind of my go-to because there's a lot that I can do with it. Specifically when it comes to like going 250 in P9, going 250 in P8, going 259 in P7. There's a lot of latitude I can do at 250, and 250 seems to be a safe spot. If we're being honest, you could do anywhere between 230 and 250 and be able to control the roast. 220 is getting a little low. If you get down to like a pound, you can do certain coffees at 220, depending on what you're trying to accomplish. Like you could do like a 220, a P7, and a fan 2 or 3 and not touch it at all. So I generally, if it's really new, and I'll usually try to start somewhere between 220 and 250 at about 500, like this one is a pretty standard go. And then as I move up, I'll go into like 280 will be like a 700, 800, and anywhere from 800 to 1,000, I just do 300. 300 at 1,000 is like, I always do 300 at 1,000. I just know that the roasting becomes a lot more technical, a lot less technical when you reach the capacity of the roaster. So I just stick with 300. It gives me some control. It usually gives me anywhere between a 9 and 10 minute first crack. And to be honest with you, instead of it going beyond 300, I would rather drop 100 grams out and take it down to 900. So like with that Sumatra, instead of going up with the preheat, I would rather go down, because at 300 degrees, adding extra heat, the roaster's too packed. It's too tight, not enough air movement. And what's going to happen is you're going to get a disorganization of beans, and it would be better just to drop it down 100. The one I sent you was 900 grams at 280. Yeah, and I mean, let's say I wouldn't mess around with that preheat time. Guatemalans, they're a little bit more jumpy. They're a little bit more airy. They go a little quicker. So that's probably perfect for it. If you wanted to kick it up to 900, I would say just go to 300. The 300 is important because it starts getting pretty tight at that level. As I've said time and time again, this roaster's sweet spot is like 6 to 800. And in that, you can get a pretty consistent roast that you can't get with the smaller batches, and you can still add a little bit of your own flair and see some results. Hell, I've done 800 grams of like a light roast coffee that I then like piston blast at like 280 degrees preheat, and then all I did from that point on is I dropped down to like P7, P6 for the whole roast. Used very minimal fan. Just let it kind of just sit there and just mess around in the roaster, jumble around in there. And started really high, came down a really steep decline. Had some nice roast like that. So, you see this little. But I've been on 250. I just dropped down to P6. Not 12. Pretty good little roast. So I would do, honestly, the first time you roast it, here's what I would do. Before even doing a sample batch, I would say when you're roasting it, do the 220 P7 F3 and see what happens. Don't start with anything above a pound. So start like 450 to 500. You could do a sample and taste it like I do, but that's kind of my workflow. I mean, if you're doing that, but if you're wanting to get in there and just roast it, I would say just start like 220, 225 and keep it at P7. But here's the trick to that. Don't go off of P7 at all. Unless you see anything, just let it P7 until 190 degrees. If it's looking like it's coming in hot at 190 degrees, then drop it down to P6. That'll give you kind of a good idea of what it's going to do. 250 preheat, like 600 grams. That's probably the same. That probably translates 600 grams, 250, 240. P7 it. Just see what happens. Coming in a little softer now. I'm gonna get. I might slowly walk this fan down and see if I can't build up a little bit more energy in. I don't want to kick I'm already down to P5. I don't really want to go back. Got a nice little roast curve going here, so. Always trying to hold on to that roast curve. There we go. There's a little, just a little kiss of energy. Let's just give it a little bit of chance to rebound. But they didn't rebound too much. We're okay. We're okay. A little flare, nothing too scary. Just a little flare. Stretch that development time out a little bit. It's cold down here. All my roasters flow. Good. You're good. Just play around a little bit. Play around. Stretch the development time on this roast just a skosh. Well, I mean, larger batches, the preheat is gonna be seen on larger batches just a lot. You gotta think. 450 is less than half of the drum. So, I mean, the beans are going to be just splashing around in there. But the metal is going to have a lot more time to recover. The more you pack the beans in, you've got to use higher preheating settings because you got to keep that metal kind of going, if that makes sense. I don't know if kind of going is the best way to go about it, but when the beans are sloshing around in there, you don't need as much preheat in order to get, as long as you're using like a P7 or even a P8, like that metal is it's gonna bounce back a lot faster. But once you get to like 60%, 70%, you're gonna need like a significantly higher preheats because you're not gonna get that rebound on the metal. So that's kind of how you got to look at it. So I usually say do like a less than half capacity with just a P7 because you'll get to see just how much those beans will, like when they're slapping across that metal, how much heat they're taking. Some beans take more heat than others. I like to just start them in there and let them slap around. So, and I'm going to say this kind of tongue-in-cheek, you get to that point, you got to start thinking about scorching, tipping, you got to start thinking about defects. Not on all the beans, but on some of the beans. Ah, damn camera. Yeah. Oh, a little bit of trial and error. I will say this: light roasts are the toughest thing to do on this machine. Light roasts are the toughest thing to roast altogether. I got salt on that. Give me a second. I'll pop tip the case for a moment. So here are my theories on light roasts on this machine and light roasts in general. In a perfect world, light roast would be actually pretty easy to roast. You would just go in, you'd light them, you'd go light, you'd let them go about 35 to 45 seconds in the first crack, you dump them out. Problem is that with this roaster, it's really, really tough to get a super violent first crack, to get everything kind of just bouncing around, jumping around without, completely blowing through your pre-development times. Now, there are ways to do it, but everybody has kind of their own technique. Some people do a lot of heat and then use a lot of fan all throughout the roast. Some people use, they start low, but then they dump a bunch of heat on it instead of no fan. Some people, again, there's a lot of technique to doing a light roast. It's a lot easier for me to say, like, do these for medium and dark roasts, because the bottom line is that you come up and you can kind of do things while your curve is coming down to stretch the roast out. Like with that, I wanted to stretch the pre-development time out. Halfway through there, I just kicked it down to P6 a little sooner than I normally did. The roast just stalled. Not stalled, but it slowed down, and I got the roast that I wanted out of it. It's just a little bit more challenging. When you start bumping it up really, really high, you just gotta there's just a lot of trial and error on it, and you'll come up with your own technique. But I wish I could give you some more, sage advice on light roast. But the first thing I got really good on the bullet was dark roast. Then I got good at medium roast because I made a lot of medium roast. I am just now getting to the point where I'm super comfortable. I think I kind of just manipulate light roast, but they've always been the hardest thing on this machine. At D9, the drum is moving pretty fast. I think you'll be hard-pressed to see scorching. So you're not going to see wide-scale scorching, but you're going to see tipping. I promise you that. I promise at 310, if you look at beans, you're going to start to notice some tipping. Especially if there's not a lot of airflow. Airflow is what's going to cause that tipping, because what's going to happen is some of those things are going to get too tight. And it's going to, you start seeing a little bit of it. And maybe I'm like sniffing glue, but probably not scorching, but probably tipping. I'm looking at yours though. It looks pretty, I don't see much tipping at all. It's pretty prototypical with the Guatemalan. So maybe I'm just being paranoid. That wouldn't necessarily be completely out of the ballpark. Nope. Don't see any tipping on this. That's good. The only tipping I noticed on this Sumatran is like a bad bean. This Sumatran has some bad beans in it. Get like a stinker, you get some tipping. Check my Mexico. Mexico's beauty. I don't know. The more I roast, I think the more paranoid I get. If I'm being honest with you. All right. Well, we did it. I feel like that was a good little YouTube sesh. I had fun. Isaac, you're well on your way to success, my friend. I think you are at the point where I would spend the monies for your coffees. So you stop sending them to me for free, or keep doing it. But I think you go to the farmers market this year. You put that sweet label that you made. You put pride on there, and I think you'd make a good coffee. As long as you give a shit about it, it's always going to come through in the cup. Give a shit will always translate into the cup. And you know what? It's a journey. It's a journey for you, and it's a journey for your customers. So as you kind of figure out your own style and kind of how you do things, your customers are going to be thrilled, and they're going to be along for the ride. And they, they're not perfect coffee people, and that's okay. None of us are. And that's another reason why light roast is so tough, is because light roast, in a perfect world, the coffee person knows what they're getting. But a lot of people don't. But you'll figure out how to put your own spin on it, and it's going to be good. I'm going to keep doing it, laughing out loud. Getting anyone to taste my coffee is valuable. Absolutely. But I think you're at the point where a lot of those people are going to start paying you, and you should be okay with that. Do not worry about it at all. They're going to love it. They're going to love you. They're going to love your story. And they're just going to really like that they get to talk to the person who roasted their coffee. Because what people start to realize with coffee, and I've found, is when they start to think about it and they start to talk to you about it and they see that you're passionate about it, they begin to realize just how important coffee is to their daily routine. And to be able to kind of connect with someone with something that's so important to them that they sometimes don't think about is a really special experience for them. And the fact that you get to share that experience is going to be your number one selling point. And don't take it for granted. Just tell yourself that you're going to do whatever it takes to get better. You're going to practice, and you're going to be open to criticism, but also you're going to put a product out there, and you're going to know that it's going to be good. And that is the ultimate advice that I can give. And I'm really kind of talking to myself when I give that advice, but I've tasted it now. I wouldn't call myself the bean man if I didn't think that you were hitting the marks. So you've got a good product. You're buying good beans. You're paying a premium to buy those beans, and you're able to extract the flavors in those beans. So check mark, check mark, check mark, check mark. What I would do, I would go a little bit darker on that. That's just me. That's me as a roaster. I would say I would stretch out the pre-development time even more if I could, and then I try to go darker and keep in the same percentage. So if I was going to try to make it so I didn't get too much of a development percentage, I wouldn't actually shorten my development time. I would stretch out my pre-development time. That's what I would do. So, but honestly, if that batch works for me, so hammer that batch out a bunch of times. It's going to be a good stuff. All right. Well, hopefully this serves some purpose. Hopefully I'm going to put this up. Just leave it on my lives. Keep all the warts and everything. I might go back and look at the some of the raw footage. Maybe I'll chop it up, hit some highlights on it. Maybe there's something of value in here. Maybe it's total rubbish. I don't know. If you did like it, go ahead and push like, because I guess that does something. I don't know. Honestly, I think I'm at a really good place with coffee roasting right now. I'm super excited, and I'm starting to think about this in a much, much more serious level. And there was points when I first started this when that used to scare the shit out of me, and now I'm really excited for it. I think there's a lot I got to learn. There's a lot that I have to do, but I think for the first time, I'm really, really excited. Thanks for the advice, and thanks for streaming tonight. Have a good night. Absolutely. You take it easy, and I will see you guys on the flippity flop. It's been fun. YouTube's kind of fun, so I might make this a habit. Maybe make this my Thursday working stream. That means I need to probably start doing something more entertaining I don't know. Just having a good time. Okay, guys. Well, I've poured my heart out enough.